99.5 The X. It just rocks.
Hey, we're here with a Dan Donegan from Disturbed, and I will tell you, man, this album is in your face. It's awesome. It's brutally honest, and the response has been absolutely amazing from our end and nationally as well. I mean, it's awesome to watch the reception you're getting from him.
Yeah, it's great to be able to come back after the long hiatus of 4.5 years off and return and have the fans hungry and ready for it, and we felt strong about delivering the best album that we can, and they responded to it. It's been pretty overwhelming what it's been doing lately for us too, with obviously the success of The Sound of Silence and how that's taken off in a big way for us. So,
well, in your appearance, I believe it was on Conan, that really was a big, I mean, the song was huge anyway. It's been spun already, but that appearance really seemed to take off for that song specifically.
Yeah, for sure. It was already climbing the charts at radio before that, but that definitely put us over the top because it reached a newer audience. I guess a lot of people that weren't familiar with us or probably had preconceived notions of what type of band we are, or just by being the name Disturbed, they probably thought we were one certain thing. And I think now it's nice to kind of branch out and just show that there's definitely a lot of flavors within this band. We're not just one definition of what Disturbed is.
Now, with what came specifically that track, and I don't want to focus too much on that, but I do want people to get a better understanding, at least our listeners, of what came to the decision to do that song, put it on the album.
Yeah. Well, obviously, historically we've done a number of cover songs in the past, and this time around too, we talked early on. We're like, oh, let's consider another cover. I like to do it for the sake of the challenge that is on us to push ourselves as artists to try to find a great song, a classic song, and to put our stamp on it, but still pay respect to the original artist.
Right.
And so we knew early on. We started talking about it, and we're all looking through our iTunes libraries and just trying to think of something. How far back do we go this time? And so let's not. We've already done the '80s era and stuff. Let's dig a little deeper. And then at one point, Mike had suggested, "What about Simon and Garfunkel?" We started thinking about it, and lyrically, The Sound of Silence seemed to be the one that hit us the most, that we connected with the most, and so we knew we were at that point early on in the recording process. We knew that was going to be the song. We said, let's wait till towards the end, once we finish the album, leave that towards the last of it, because we knew it was going to be kind of experimental and see where we want to go with it. And at that time, after already delivering the rest of the album, direction-wise, everybody just assumed we would make it heavier and just have some syncopation and a big riff to it and that. And personally, I didn't want to go down that road again. We've done that many times, and I thought it would be a nice challenge for us to still, in a different way, still keep the song, or make it dark so it's still Disturbed, make it haunting.
Well, the lyrics are, regardless.
Yeah,
I mean, even
sure.
though it's a folk song, and most people know it as a singer-songwriter or whip it out an acoustic folk song, the undertones of that song are really challenging.
For sure. And we thought, if we could keep it and make it haunting, it could, that part of it can make it Disturbed. And so it was my suggestion to not pick up the electric guitar and not get on the drums, and let's just try to go down a different path with it. Let's give David something that's really going to challenge him as a vocalist to go in areas that the fans haven't heard him go before. This long in our career, we want to show that there's more to him.
Right.
More to this band, more to David's vocals, and the big thing was picking the key to do it in, finding that a way for him to build it vocally, and starting off in that lower register in a spot where fans never heard. And then just giving him that bed of music that would be complementary to his performance and not be overpowering or get in the way. So it was a lot more pressure, I think, on his end to know that he had to hit it out of the park. This is a song that's got to carry with the vocal performance from start to finish.
It's really bare in that aspect. You're right. But the timpanis and that tone and that texture and everything and how you put those pieces together sonically, it's powerful, and thank you for putting that on there and taking that risk and doing that.
Yeah, I think we're all pretty surprised. I mean, we felt, obviously, with any song we do, whether it's ours or a cover song, we as long as there's a chill up our spine and we're doing it in the room and we're feeling it, we always trust our gut. I'm more surprised at the quick reaction and quick response from the fans to be able to digest something that's so different from us and then accept it and love it.
Yeah.
Because usually something that throws you, off a bit, like, oh, what is this? It's different. I don't know if I like it yet. But the reaction was almost instant. Just people just loved that it was different, and it was something that they could still appreciate without being just heavy and in your face over it.
Well, with the album as it is, I mean, it is quite a journey. There's a lot of diversity in this album, and to go with the title Immortalized and have that diversity. There's some tracks that are just fun, and then you have you just strip it down, and that's one thing where to me, it came across to me this way. And you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I mean, my interpretation is just how it hit me. But it just seemed like this was this is who we are, kind of just a time capsule, a moment in time, and this is what's going to represent Disturbed right now, and like it or leave it. I mean, it's...
Yeah, I mean,
every album essentially is that, but...
Yeah, and the chemistry was so... we've always had a great chemistry together, but I think this time, we made a more conscious effort to really spend time together in the room as we're writing and developing. And as great as technology is with Pro Tools and be able to send files to each other because we all live in different states, it's a nice writing tool to have to get ideas going. But the real vibe and the real chemistry is being in the room together. And even though I'd send some ideas just to get the ball rolling, I'd send David some music and that, and he'd get some ideas. We said, you know what, when we're ready, him get on a plane, come out to me in Chicago, and then I got on a plane, went out to him in Austin, Texas, and spend more time together so we could feed off the energy. You miss that through emails and sending files. It's like, okay, here's some music. Now I'm going to sit around, wait for him to respond to the email, see if he likes it, and then record something, send it back. It can work that way, but it's not what this band was meant to be. It's not what this band should be.
Now, are you the only one that's separated from the rest of the guys, or?
No, everybody. Well, John's still in Austin, Texas, too, but Mike's up in just west of Milwaukee with his family up there. So, yeah, me and management are the only ones left in the Chicago area, but Chicago's our home base. I mean, when it's time to get together and do business or rehearse or whatever, we're usually in Chicago.
The technology as it is, that's got to be convenient. But you're right. I mean, with you guys together collectively, that's where the magic happens.
Because you see the expression on each other's faces when you're improvising the ideas. Mike's not too far from me anyway. He could drive down from Wisconsin to Chicago, quite a bit anyway. So I see Mike the most in the off time. And he'll come down, and I have a drum kit at my house, and of course he does too. So whenever he's down by me, it's just nice that we could sit there and improvise and just kind of feel it out. And David would be in the room, and we would see if it's something that's inspiring him to write or come up with the melody for it. So, I mean, we realized that we need to get back to this way of writing and stay that way with it, because it made the vibe in the room just so much better, because we were like little kids just excited.
Exactly.
When you're hearing new stuff happening. I'm playing a riff, and Mike's finding a groove to it, and then David starts improvising that melody, and then we're like, once we feel it together, and that, like I said, that chills up our spine, and then we know that we're on to something.
Well, obviously with that creative process, and the gear's always turning, I mean, you have to be looking down the road. Of course, in touring in support of this, being here at Carolina Rebellion and playing live the songs off the album, what's coming next? Obviously, there might be some stuff that happened with this album coming out, and the response to Sound of Silence, it might affect what you're thinking of doing in the future. I don't know.
Well, I mean, at the time when we were recording, we weren't thinking about. We didn't have a deadline. We didn't have any tours, anything that we were rushing to get to, and that was the beauty of it. And that's why part of the reason why we didn't even announce to the fans that we were even together. And we just wanted to focus 110% on just making a strong album with no plans of anything else just yet but that. And then, so once it was done, then we're thinking ahead of, okay, there's a lot of territories we need to get back to. It's been long enough. We've been away long enough, and we missed the fans, we missed the stage. Now we had a new album that we're all excited about and just ready to play and just wanting to get out and do it again. So now, I mean, our whole year is just filling up.
I bet.
Which is a great thing. This is what we're back for. You know, we want to be out there. This is our drug. This is our addiction of being on stage. And you know, now I think, why did we take so much time off? Because it makes you realize how much you missed it. You know, being away from it that long.
Now with Otherness Tour and with this album, it's an obligatory question, but I'm curious, what is the song in the set that is your favorite to play? That the crowd, you can feel it, or just for you? Either one.
I don't know. I like playing The Light a lot. It's our second single off this album. It went to #1 at Active Rock, and that one just got a cool live moment. There's a moment in that at the start of the song where David has crowd participation thing. He addresses the audience of them raising their cell phones or lighters or whatever they have when he sings the words "The Light," and it just lights the place up. It's a pretty powerful moment because you're out there just seeing, you know, thousands of people lighting up the place, and so that's a big, powerful live moment for us. And then, of course, I mean, anytime we do Down with the Sickness, I mean, you would think as old as that song is for us, and I mean, we probably wrote it in 1997 or something. We formed in '96. We probably wrote it a year later. You'd think that we'd be sick of it by now, and I personally, speaking for myself, I'm not, because the reaction the crowd has every time they hear that opening drum beat, and just waiting for David's big moment entering that song and just into the riff, it just still gives a chill up my spine, because the energy that they have when that kicks in. And
There's a lot of anticipation that builds in that song.
So, I mean, it's not like the type of song that when I'm at home, I'm not sitting in my bedroom playing the riff all the time. You know, it's not a favorite to do when I'm at home, but out here's a different story. When that energy is there and the crowd is roaring, I still love playing it.
Well, we're glad you're still doing it, man. It's absolutely awesome. Great way to wrap it up. Can't wait to see you tonight.
Cool. Thank you.
And I'll be paying attention for that light moment you're talking about.
Yeah, you won't miss it. So it's cool.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate it.